prediction: this novel is going to not sell well. Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, the latest James Bond novel makes it abundantly clear that the villains are white men who oppose wokeness. So, yeah, let's get into this, shall we? Shout out to John F. Trent and the boys at Bounding into Comics. The latest James Bond novel, On His Majesty's Secret Service by Charles Hickson, which arrived on bookshelves back in May, features white men who oppose wokeness as villains. In the book's official synopsis, it shares, it is the 4th of May, 2 days before the coronation of King Charles III, and the world's favorite spy has his work cut out for him. It continues, Bond is sent at the last minute to thwart the attempt to disrupt the coronation by the wealthy, eccentric, and self-styled Athelstan of Wessex, who is on a deadly mission of his own to teach the United Kingdom a lesson. Can Bond dismantle the shady plans and defeat the privately hired team of mercenaries? Find out next time. Jeez, it just sounds so corny. While the synopsis does not make it clear who Athelstan of Wessex is, a screenshot of the book from Leo Kearse and brought to Bounding into Comics attention by ex-user Steve Kenobi. Good, or shout out to you, buddy. Hints at who the villains are. The excerpt shared by Leo Kearse is part of Bond infiltrating Athelstan's organization, and more specifically his Anglo-Saxon castle. In order to do so, he poses as Peter Sanborn, the leader of a group of 30 mercenaries. So Kearse's excerpt sees Bond observing a number of guests who also have been invited to Athelstan's castle. It specifically describes a man named Roger Burkett. Burkett was an ex-Tory MP. Okay, I have no idea what that is. Famous for promoting COVID vaccine, mask-wearing 5G conspiracy theories, which had spilled over into the usual anti-immigrant, anti-EU, anti-BBC, anti-MSM, anti-cultural, Marxist, climate change denial pronouncements. Oh my God, they really went there. It was an anti-trans diatribe that had eventually got him kicked out of the party he'd soon after set up the New Freedom Party. Oh my God. Wow. This is what they think of anybody who's anti-woke. We have no problem with trans and all this stuff, but what we do have a problem is the lies that are often spouted by them, and the denials of actual science and stuff, folks. Oh my God. It continues, Bond was struck by something. It was a long while since he's been at any kind of function that was almost exclusively full of men. It felt strange. There was not even a pretense of diversity here. Oh my God. Athelstan hadn't been the least bit concerned about ensuring that half of the people he'd hired to carry out this coup should be women or non-white or disabled. This was an unapologetically old school gathering. In Athelstan's world, he was king and could do whatever he wanted. Oh my God. They only think that white people are opposed to wokeness. They only think that white people are opposed to wokeness. Folks, the opposition to this regressive culture that is politically correct, or woke as they call it, is not just led by white people. I mean, hell, I've seen so many freaking YouTubers of all different shades of skin color, gender, and whatnot, speaking out against the woke bullshit. I mean, you got gospel, or the gospel according to Mark with a C, friggin' Demogeny, Freaking Lorena Creel, Mara Jade, and so many friggin' others. Oh my God, this is just absolutely hilarious that they think it's just straight white men. I mean, I could name off so many more, but, you know, whatever. The latest Bond book, everything that used to be an escape from conformity and mocked the orthodoxy, Bond Viz stand-up comedy, has been neutered, indoctrinated, co-opted, homogenized. Bond is now an HR rep ensuring compliance with the organization's values. Oh, dear Lord. Leo Kurse, Simeon, YouTube, and headliners. However, this excerpt isn't even the most egregious part of the book. As Bond arrives at the party, Higson writes, he wanted to blend in, not draw attention to himself. He was Peter Sandburn, someone who was serious about his job. He just hoped to God that everyone else wasn't going to be wearing cloaks and hoods and jingling about in chainmail. Wow, could you be any more on the dot in your thoughts of Andy Woke? Upon entering the main room, Bond observes many of the men in the room could be described as ex-something, ex-military, politician, media pundit for hire. They become more and more extreme in their views and too toxic, unruly, and unsafe to remain affiliated with the radical groups they joined. Oh, wow. Just wow. When you became too far out for a far-right organization, oh my God, here we go, folks. They automatically think it's far-right. They don't know what the political spectrum really is or how it's measured. You see, moderates who are anti-woke or who are against the wokeness, moderates are in the middle of the scale. Far left is the extreme. Yeah, far left is the extreme. And far right is literally no government. But hey, that's just shows the amount of influence that these people have on you or have on people in society. Far right organization, you were really on the outside. So Higson's continued. Just look at them now with their champagne and nibbles, their shiny shoes, their beaming faces. They were firmly on the inside and loving it. They'd found their tribe, and very soon they were going to announce themselves to the world. No longer outcasts, no longer canceled, no longer marginalized. They were going to be the new overlords. There was only one person standing between them and the chaos. James Bond. As Bond made his way throughout the room, he makes further observations about who these men are, and then he talked to, invariably, with what shows they'd been streaming: sport, travel, women, cars, and soon moved on to laughing about how much they hated cyclists and bus lanes and congestion charging, and traffic calming, and how global warming was a con. And sooner or later came around to the big woke conspiracy, Black Lives Matter, Great Replacement, and what we are going to do about the Muslims. Oh my God, they seriously go there? Folks, Black Lives Matter is a con. That was freaking outed by a black person. Her name is Candace Owens. She freaking outed Black Lives Matter as the biggest freaking Ponzi scheme there is. Raking in all that money and not putting it towards the black community, but spending it on themselves. Yeah. The Great Replacement, it's literally also been proven fact, where governments are bringing in all sorts of immigrants so that they are essentially buying their votes when they turn them into citizens. That's not a conspiracy. That's literally what's happening in the world. Hold Holy crap. About the Muslims, I have no problem with people who are Muslim. I mean, fuck, I have a friend from a few years ago who's Muslim. I have the hijabi gamer, she's Muslim. She's a great gal. My freaking ex-landlady, her daughter is a Muslim. Another great person. I mean, it's the very extreme Muslims that I have a problem with, you know? The ones that want to do all sorts of heinous shit to people. But moving on. Still further into the novel, once Athelstan makes his entrance, he addresses the partygoers. You lot, you guys are the bloody best. A cheer, the backbone of England, even though half of you aren't English at all. Ha ha ha. But you know what I mean. Wherever you're from, you understand that a country, any country, and I know I'm screwing this up with the accent, if it's worth its salt, must stand for something. Many people think I'm utterly old-fashioned and out of touch, but do you know what? I couldn't care less. I believe in the idea of nationhood. The country must mean something, or what is it? Just a place full of random people, a meaningless blob of diverse men and women. Oh, sorry, not allowed to call them that anymore, are we? He actually does kind of make a good point. You're not allowed to call women women anymore because, you know, what is a woman? Higson continues, but you lot, you haven't been bamboozled or brainwashed by all this trendy leftist Tommy rot. What's Tommy rot? And you're prepared to stand up for your principles. You're prepared to do something, to be something, to stand and fight. You are the 300 Spartans at Thermopylae, ready to lay your lives on the line to keep the hated foreign invaders out. You are the boys in red at Rock's Drift holding back the army of Zulus. You are the Paras taking on the Argentines at Goose Green. The 300 Spartans. Yeah, folks, they gave their lives in order to ensure that Greece fought against an invading horde that was threatening to wipe out their very existence. Which, well, this... I'm not saying that extremism is admissible or extremism is a good thing, but when people are said that your way of life should end, people are going to stand against that, especially when it is literally just do a simple internet search. The most violent groups out there are the woke. How they're disrupting traffic, how they're burning down cities. And when conservatives and right-wingers and whatnot, when they do a demonstration, they're peaceful. Then you have these agitators from the left that come in and try to disrupt it. Oh my God, man. It goes on, but you also understand one crucial thing. The greatest enemy is not a foreign invader, not a Parisian or a Persian or a Zulu or an Argi. Argi. It's the enemy among us. The greatest threat comes from those who try to undermine our great country from within, be it a biased BBC journalist with a hidden agenda, a beardy from Islington or Islington, I have no idea how to... I'm just reading this, folks, who thinks we should all ride vegan bicycle and worship on the altar of Karl Marx. Well, Karl Marx was a bad person, let's be frank, folks. Or a man in a dress who insists we call him they. Well, it is a mental delusion, so yeah. Still later in his speech, Athelstan states, they've taken our history, our culture, our great legacy, and tossed it in the bin, turned it all into a pantomime, a charade. King Charles III, perhaps we should better call him King Charles the Woke. His great-grandfather, George V, ruled an empire of over 400 million people that covered nearly 14 million square miles. Aren't they in the metric in the UK? Huh. Nearly a quarter of the world's population and a quarter of the Earth's total land. And that's what happened to it, or what happened to it all? What did they do with it? They gave it away because it wasn't nice to have an empire. Well, empires do usually become tyrannical. Yeah. Eventually, Bond begins to tune out Athelstan's speech, or I can't pronounce that word, and begins to judge those in attendance. His private army of toxic mix. Some were losers looking for validation. Others were thugs who enjoyed violence and wanted justification for it. You mean like Antifa and Black Lives Matter? They were the descendants of all those crusaders pouring out of the West into the Holy Lands, disgruntled ex-military, professional private security firms looking to make a hit. Finally, Athelstan reveals his plan. There are a handful of traffic pinch points around London. Block them and bring central London to a standstill. At the same time, we'll shut down the power grid. Here's the thing. Blocking traffic, that is literally left-wing terror tactics. They're doing it all over the place in London right now. People are getting sick of it. That's literally left-wing propaganda that this dude is saying is right-wing stuff, folks. Right-wing, we just freaking boycott and you lose billions. Left-wing, they have to resort to terrorism in order to get their point across. The computer blackout. We'll get into Parliament, make the Capitol riots. Oh my God, really? Looked like Aunt Fanny's Tea Party. There was a few bad faith people in the Capitol on January 6th, but most of those people were just on a tour of the Capitol when they were let in. Yeah. But you can't really explain that without getting your channel pulled, so I'll stop there. We'll get into the BBC with its pathetic security system. We could do all these things. We will do all these things. Its guards outsourced for some godforsaken outfit like Rent-A-Kill. Okay? And once we've shut down the hated mainstream media, we will shut down Buckingham Palace, Parliament. Each of you, with your own units know what to do. We will create maximum havoc. We will ensure that Charles is not crowned on the 6th. What do you make of Ian Fleming's productions and Charles Higson depicting white men opposing wokeness as being villains in the James Bond story? Well, everything they said that was anti-woke that they're planning on doing is literally what the woke does. So, yeah. Burning down cities. Oh, but it's mostly peaceful. Those were the woke groups, folks. BLM, who literally chanted, pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon, talking about cops. Right, yeah, but that's far right, right? Folks, oh my God. I really should bring up a video for you all to watch sometime. I'll do a video on it, and I'll actually maybe even turn it into a live stream that will destroy the political argument once and for all, because it was these videos were released before Trump. This is stuff that I learned in high school, but that's for another video. But yeah, oh my God, all this stuff that they're talking about is literally tools that the left-wing side of it all uses in order to sow chaos. But yeah, that James Bond book, apparently it's already out. I don't think it's going to really sell well. I mean, And if it does, it's only because it's appealing to the actual terrorists out there. Anyway, that's going to be the video, folks. You all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think of all this stuff? This book, this crazy left-wing insanity kind of novel. It really is left-wing. But yeah, let me know all your thoughts, folks. If you want to follow my channel, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Check out my other links down in the description below. And yeah, I'm trying to get to 4,000 hours so I can become fully monetized. So if you want to help out with any of the playlists, like the one that you might be seeing on your screen here, please do. I appreciate all help, folks. Anyway, this has been Orange Hat Reviews. Have a wonderful day, and always remember, stay humble.